Hi again. Welcome to the May 1st, 2020 Graduate and Professional Student Webinar. We have several slides here that we're going to walk you through and introduce various folks from the Graduate Divisions team who would like to share information with you about a variety of important topics. As we go through this slide, I will go ahead and ask for the slides to be advanced so that you know exactly what our cues are going to be. And I want to let you know that all of these slides will be posted along with a recording of this webinar. Let's go to the next slide. And again, please do be advised this webinar is being recorded and will be made available at a later date. Next slide, please. My name is Jim Antony. I'm the Dean of the Graduate Division, and I want to just say welcome to all of you who are either joining us live or watching this asynchronously at a later time. This has been a very challenging academic term for all of you, and our primary concern is that you have all the information and support that you need in order to continue your success as graduate students. And these webinars are an extension of what we did when we were on campus face-to-face, which was our periodic office hours with Graduate Division Dean's office staff. We will continue doing webinars like this on a periodic basis, and we invite you at any time to ask any questions you might have in the Q&A box at the bottom right of your screen. We'll attempt to answer all questions at the end of the formal presentation. And as always, if you have questions that are lingering or you think of something afterwards, feel free to write to us at the Graduate Division. Allow me to introduce Rachel Flanagan, the president of your Graduate Student Association. Rachel.
Hello, everyone. I hope you are well. I hope everybody's hanging in there. It's been a pretty wild quarter, but we've made it halfway through. So I think we all get a pat on the back for that. The GSA has been doing a lot of work this quarter just to try to make sure that we've got resources for you. We've been spending a lot of time trying to figure out how we can best serve our graduate student community. So sometimes that looks like meetings with the vice chancellors or with some of the folks who are making the decisions around fall, just to advocate for you all and to advocate, to make sure that we're all covered. So if you want to go to the next slide, I think we have some information. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I thought that there was some information about GSA events, but really excited to be here and be a part of this webinar. So thank you all for having me. Send it back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Rachel. We definitely do have information about some upcoming GSA events, and I believe later in the presentation we'll show you a couple of examples, and we'll kick it back to Rachel to be able to talk more about that. In the name of information, we want to remind you that there's two places you should make a practice of regularly checking. Obviously, the main UC San Diego COVID-19 info page, and then the Graduate Division's Grad Life Dean's updates. We offer periodic updates from the Dean's office here. And if you just go to the main page for the Graduate Division, you'll find those updates right there, along with a link back to the university's main COVID-19 update. Before we begin introducing members of the Graduate Division team, I want to say a couple of things that I think are important to communicate. First and foremost, we recognize how challenging this quarter has been for every single one of our graduate and professional students. You're doing amazing work. I've spoken to a lot of the department chairs, a lot of your faculty, and we are just inspired by your tenacity and your ability to continue pushing through all of this. We are inspired by your ability to keep our students well educated, and we thank you for those of you who are working as teaching assistants and other academic student employees for all the hard work you're doing alongside with the faculty in flexibly shifting really on a dime to try and make this quarter the best that it can be for everybody. We hope that we know something soon about what the fall is going to look like. We're not at a position yet where the university really knows what to say about that, other than we're committed to continuing to listen to public health officials and allow them to guide us in figuring out what responses might look like. At best, we can say what the chancellor said in his recent announcement a day ago, which is we're very much hoping for some kind of in-person presence with a combination of some kind of digital presence in the fall. as I'm sure you know right now, all of us can't predict the future. So we just have to kind of do the best that we can, trying to figure out what the right approach will be coming in the fall. Do stay tuned. As soon as we know as a campus, we'll let everybody else know. The second thing I want to say is you'll recall as graduate students that the graduate division made with the executive vice chancellor's office some very broad and bold announcements about graduate funding reform this past fall. Reforms that were going to begin in 2021 with the entering cohort. I want to communicate to you clearly, we continue to be committed to seeing through the graduate funding reforms. Now more than ever, when things are really, really hard for you as graduate students, we realize that it's important to stay strong and continue pushing our graduate funding reforms forward. So more information is coming about all of that. We are working really hard with your departments, with programs, with divisional deans and department chairs to make our graduate funding reforms a reality. So with that said, what I'd like to do is introduce Mary Allen, the director of our Academic Affairs unit in the Graduate Division, and Associate Dean Judy Kim.
Good morning, everyone. This is Mary Allen. I wanted to share with you 3 online initiatives our unit have been working on through this quarter while working from off campus. The first one is, as you may know, many of our forms are now online, and starting in the next 2 weeks, these forms will have the capability for faculty and student electronic signatures. So stay tuned for updates on that. Also, there are various fees that you have to pay during your academic career. Back in the day, you would have to go to the cashier's office to actually pay those. You will no longer have to do that. And those fees will be charged to your student Triton Link account. And finally, the Graduate Council approved 1/4 time limit extension. Your time limits are expected to be updated next week and should be found in the student database with the updated extension of your quarter. Judy, do you have anything you wish to add?
Thank you, Mary. No, I don't have anything, but we welcome questions at the end of our webinar.
Thank you so much, Mary and Judy. I'd now like to introduce April Bjornson, Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, and Tamara Shops, Assistant Dean for Strategic Initiatives.
Hi, everybody, and thank you, Jim. This is April Bjornson. I'm the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, and just want to extend my appreciation to all of our graduate and professional students in this challenging time. I'm just always impressed by your flexibility, adaptability, and overall good spirits. A few things that I wanted to mention regarding graduate and professional student well-being and basic needs today. The first one is a new program called Let's Talk. It's weekly consultations with a CAPS provider. It's not counseling, but it's an opportunity for students to consult with a CAPS provider just about general common issues such as anxiety, stress, sleep, recovering from setbacks, things like that. These announcements have been sent out from your graduate coordinator, so please look for that email, and that contains the link for you to sign up if you're interested in this. Another resource in CAPS is the I Flourish initiative, and it offers several online-based programs for mental health that provide evidence-based intervention and interactive help at all times. Also know that I am also available if you have general questions or you don't really know where to go next. Feel free to reach out to me via email. I'm still meeting with students remotely, and so I'm always available. In the area of case management services, a new case manager has been hired. His name is Andrew Hua. He's the new case manager and outreach specialist who will be working with me to support graduate and professional students when, again, they're having some difficulties with their program or they need to get connected with a provider. A basic needs resource is the COVID-19 Special Relief Fund. So graduate students who may be experiencing financial hardship due to the COVID-19 situation can apply for funding through their Special Relief Fund. This is a form that's actually found on the Basic Needs website. And then the funding through that COVID-19 Special Relief Fund is available for food and housing and other expenses such as healthcare, medications, technology, and childcare expenses that may come up as a result of our current situation. Next slide, please. And then the CARES Act has actually allocated money to the university, a portion of which will be dedicated to graduate and professional students. About $1.7 million of the funding will be allocated to graduate and professional students, and there will be a communication forthcoming about that. Eligible students for this funding will be US citizens and eligible non-citizens. The federal law does require that we use the funds for direct payment of grants to eligible graduate and professional students for expenses related to the disruption of campus operations due to the coronavirus. These kind of expenses include food, housing, course materials, technology, healthcare, and childcare. The approach that we'll be using for this funding is to use our current basic needs framework for grant distribution. So students will apply using a simple electronic form that will allow an applicant to outline their need that's a result of the disruptions due to our present crisis. But remember, there are some additional funds. So if you are not eligible for this CARES Act money, there are some additional funds that you should look into, and you can access those again by going to the COVID-19 Financial Relief Fund. Your case will be assessed, and if there are additional funds available to you, you'll be directed to those. And I think that's it for me.
Thanks, April. I'll pick up with a update on professional development and trainings for graduate and professional students that are continuing throughout the quarter and most likely into summer as well. So there's many GradVantage programs that are running as remote offerings. For example, an upcoming virtual career night on Thursday, May 14th is going to be happening via Zoom, and that's in partnership with the GSA. So I'll let Rachel highlight a little bit more about who will be with us that night as panelists. We also will be running our certificate in leadership and teamwork program again next year, and we plan to deliver that fully online. This year it was actually delivered as a hybrid program with some courses in person and some courses online. So our partner, University Extension, is very excited to explore what does this fully remote option look like as a way to hopefully reach a broader audience of graduate students as well as postdoctoral scholars who participate in that program. We're also partnering with the Career Center on continuing different programs that would have happened in person this quarter and kind of reshaping those programs and converting them into online formats. So they do have an upcoming negotiating job offer conversation happening on May 7th, as well as job searching for PhDs during this age of COVID-19. That's going to be offered as an on-demand webinar, so we'll be sending out notifications about that shortly. There's also the Beyond the Professoriate online career conference for PhDs that's actually happening this weekend and next weekend, and GradVantage has sponsored students to attend that conference. So we've fully subsidized the cost of that conference. That is fully online. So this is just an example of some of the programs we've already decided to take online and run that way. And we look forward to partnering with the GSA and graduate students throughout the quarter and into the summer and next fall on just being creative with our programming and making sure that we're able to support all of the professional development needs of our students in this new format. Rachel, do you want to talk a little bit more about the career nights?
Yeah, I would be happy to. So I'm really excited that we're going to be able to work with the grad division and the GradVantage team to bring a virtual career night. So usually our career nights are social events where we bring in folks, alumni or other folks from industry or from academia to talk to graduate students. But at the current times, we switched that to a virtual format, and we're really excited to bring PhD alumni who have gone on to do really amazing things. We've got somebody coming from the Smithsonian Institution. We've got folks who have gone on to become professors or who have gone on to work in politics and things like that. So this is pretty exciting. It's May 14th this year at 5. And then, yeah, so I'm super excited. It'll be via Zoom. And so the way it'll work is there will be a broader presentation, and then we will actually be working with a team to facilitate breakout sessions. So folks who maybe, if you're really interested in hearing from, the folks from Facebook, you can go into that chat room and talk to them.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. And I think one more slide here if you want to talk a little bit more about this resource.
Sure. So one project we've been working on is trying to figure out ways of bringing people together. And I know one group that kind of has a lot of very different challenges from some of us are student parents and student caretakers. And so today at 2 o'clock, we're going to have a forum for student parents, students with dependents, or even really any sort of, if you have somebody in your home that needs, your support. We have this forum available to kind of touch base on, what's around, how are you doing, what's working, what's not working, and who else would you like to hear from on campus, just to make sure that you're connected and you have what you need. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Tamara and Rachel. I'd now like to introduce our new Director of Financial Support Unit here in the Graduate Division, Tiffany Swiderski, and she will again be joined by Tamara Shops.
Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Swiderski. I just joined the Graduate Division April 1, so I'm right there along with you, learning a lot and trying to figure out how to navigate all of our business remotely, online, from distance, away from campus. To that end, I wanted to just share some contact information for the financial unit and remind you to start with your graduate coordinators, because they can always help kind of triage and direct you to the right financial unit or financial support unit staff if necessary. And then these emails are here. We'll make sure and post these slides, as Jim mentioned, under the Dean's announcements, but please do feel free to email us if you need help during this time or anytime. Next slide, please. Reminder to everyone, and to please also remind your fellow students to sign up for direct deposit. It is a little bit confusing because we have a couple of different distribution methods for checks, and those include both enrollment or employment and fellowship. So there are two different direct deposit, two different systems that you'll need to sign up for. But please, again, reach out to us if you have any trouble with this. Next slide. And I just wanted to let everyone know that we are still trying to track down some checks that were distributed on physical paper checks before folks signed up for direct deposit. If you have still not received a check and you're missing something from after March 24th through today's pay date, if you haven't already filled out the Google form linked here, then please just send me an email directly at fsu-director@ucsd.edu, and I will help put you in touch with the right folks to find those checks and get them to you. Next slide. You may have also heard that the UC San Diego payroll system is changing to UC Path. We don't have a lot of information to share yet. We're sort of in this limbo period until it goes live later in June, but the UC Path team will post updates regularly as they have them to the first link there for students. And then I also wanted to just point out that at the GSA meeting next week, we're going to share the information that we have. So please consider attending that meeting via Zoom as well. And lastly, we wanted to let everyone know that we have posted employment opportunities for summer. We posted a new page at the Grad Life website that has both academic opportunities and then hourly appointments available on campus. And we're working with our campus partners to get positions posted there as soon as possible. So please do take a look and see if there are any opportunities that work well for you this summer.
Great, thank you. All right, well, that is all the content that we have, and we know there's a few participants who have been able to join us synchronously. So if there are any questions among the people who are attending synchronously and you'd like to go ahead and type those into the Q&A box, we will work to answer them right now. Otherwise, I want to remind you that anytime you have questions and don't really know where to send them, you can always send them to graduatedean@ucsd.edu, and we'll be sure to get them to the right place. Of course, our website is a wonderful resource that tells you all of the different folks who you got to listen to today and exactly how to contact them. And you should always feel free to reach out to us at any point. So one question that seems to keep coming up is when there are events via Zoom, will they be recorded and posted online? It's going to always be our priority to try and get any graduate division events that happen on Zoom to be recorded so that we can post them later online. And I know that the GSA president and her team is also eager to try and figure out how to do that as well. And I encourage you to reach out to GSA with that question if you have any questions about being able to attend things asynchronously, and then they can update you on what their plans are for that. Okay, seeing as there are not any other questions coming up right now, let me once again thank you for joining us in this very brief webinar. Let me thank all of the team members from the graduate division who joined to provide some information to you. Let me also thank Rachel from the GSA for being here. All of us are stand ready to help you out. We're halfway through the quarter here. We're going to make it, folks. It's going to be a quarter to remember, that's for sure. As we begin transitioning into summer and you have any questions about your summer plans, please do let us know. We're happy to help you with that. And we look forward to continuing to provide you information in this format. And we also look forward to, at some point, hopefully soon, getting back to some kind of normal operation where we can see you once again face to face. So thanks for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.